the other thing that I thought was fantastic was Night Stalker. So that was Martin Clunes playing Colin Sutton.
Yeah, well, I know Colin well, and Colin and I are the same ilk, so I'm looking forward to seeing Colin in a couple of weeks' time at the event we're going to.
So would that be, because obviously you've got your career to think about, but you've got your investment in being loyal to victims and the families of victims of crime. If somebody dramatised the Peter Tobin case or one of the big cases, would you work with them like Colin? Would that be a terrifying prospect to be dramatised on screen?
Well, anything that comes my way and anything that I'm working on, I assess at the time, and I assess the balance to do with victims, and that's the thing. The Night Stalker thing, I've seen it, I have watched it. There's certain things in that are really realistic. There's part in it where Martin Clunes is fighting for resources. I need to do this resource. I could relate to that.
And he walked in. If you've not watched it, I don't know if it's still on the. I don't know what the ITV equivalent of iPlayer is, but it's on the catch-up thing for ITV. And he walks in, doesn't he? He's got to basically pitch his case to all these suited and booted police officers, and they bring the meeting forward like a week, and so he has to go in with a piece of all his ideas, what would have been a big PowerPoint presentation, all his bits of paper, and going, can we have like £1 gazillion because I need to catch this awful person?
Yes, that's the realities of it.
Really,
there's priorities now, and sadly finance does come into policing. Sadly it does. And that is the thing. But the police now, police in general, when I created Operation Anagram life timelining, looking at Peter Tobin, looking at his life and what else he's maybe done, and it was a successful conclusion in that we found 2 bodies that were buried in Margate in Kent. We didn't find anything else that he's done, and that's the sad part for me, that we haven't, but we've given it a good try. But I sometimes think that was unusual what I did with that, but it was looking back, and that was in early years in 2007. Looking back, the police forces have moved on a lot now. Historical cases, cold case units working together, so we've moved on a lot. So the police, and they've had some really big results with it, and that's the big thing for me, that it's about it should never, one of the phrases I use is, the passage of time should not be detrimental to the detection of crime, and I think you've heard me saying that before. Yeah,
and I was just going to ask you about that, because when resources are so tight, and yet cold cases, I guess, are very much in the media, that podcast makers like Let's Find a Cold Case, Netflix documentary makers, Let's Find a Cold Case. Is there a discrepancy between how the police treat those cold cases and how the media treat them? Or do they get a fair whack of an investigation, do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to remember the police investigate crimes, and we have seen some situations where... Don't
raise your eyebrow at me, David.
Armchair experts try to investigate crimes, and it can all go horribly wrong. So one of the things, and I think I've said this before, is that when I left the police and set up doing reviews, independent reviews, and it metamorphosised into killed abroad cases, is that I always said that I wouldn't be commenting on live UK investigations, and that is something I feel strongly about. Because there's an SIO, a senior investigating officer, that's struggling to deal with it, a family that's struggling for answers, and we all know that families will do anything to try and get the truth and answers, and sometimes we have people that are murderers that plant themselves in the family and do media appeals. We had that with the Soham murders, when Huntley did media appeals, and there's other ones as well. So families turn to people that they want to rely on, and that is a big thing. And I thought, no, that's something I am not going to be doing, live UK investigation. There's lots of people out there do it, lots of people feed the speculation machine. We need to be careful sometimes with that.